This is a bonus episode for The Toll, Season 2, Poison, Control. There's just so much I couldn't cover in the original series. Thank you for listening. It's tragic, really.
I don't believe in coincidence.
We all have a story.
Nobody was able to make it because everybody was sick.
A dark secret wrapped in emptiness and regret.
Within a year, her entire nuclear family died.
You know.
Tons and tons of chemicals.
The Toll. I'm Nancy Simpson. Jeanette Robbins and I were in her hometown, Kirksville, Missouri, July 2022. She was there because it was her high school reunion, and I was there because it was the 30th anniversary weekend of her father's death, and she invited me to tag along. I was there to see the sights, hear the sounds, talk to people, and go through the events of the day her father dropped dead while jogging in 1992. Now, we'd been at the site of her father's death near the cemetery in LaBelle, Missouri. We mapped out locations and then visited her grandparents' house and graves on Saturday. Then on Sunday, Jeanette and I located her father's grave and toured Kirksville, her showing me landmarks of significance, stuff like that. In the quiet of the evening on Sunday, we reflected. I asked her to sit at the small desk by the TV in my room and record the intro lines that you hear in Episode 1. They're quotes I found from Jeanette's writings, pulled from emails and entries in web sleuths. So in the still of the hotel room there in Kirksville, she read the lines.
It's a story that cannot die with me. Wouldn't it be fabulous if this were a series of unfortunate events? I love my mother, but she's dangerous to my family. If I don't speak up, am I complicit in all of this? She truly needed me to be sick, and I just didn't understand. I feel like I'm betraying my mother if I say something, but I'm betraying everyone else if I don't. I need to evacuate this from my soul.
But it wasn't that easy. Wrapped around those lines is the meaning behind them, her story. So we start at the top. There are 7.
It's a story that cannot die with me. The reason being that there were so many wonderful people that cannot speak for themselves anymore. And there's no one else that is living right now that knows the full scope of it. And that's why it's a story that cannot die with me.
The next one?
Wouldn't it be fabulous if this were a series of unfortunate events? I think it's a lot easier if it's something within our control, because if it was the case that I was wrong, then I have control of what I do about that. And I could go get myself help, and I could get myself medication, and I could write letters to them and say, I'm so sorry. Anybody that might think that about her, I could come to her defense. I could start acting like what a normal human does. You protect your mother, you try to help your family, and you say, my gosh, you guys, I'm so sorry. I made a mistake. And that would be fabulous. It'd be the best outcome.
And I can't tell you how many times over the years we've been working on the Toll poison control that she's asked me, do you believe my mom hurt people, or do you still believe my mom did this? About 2 years into the project, she sent me this note. Is there room my mom could be innocent and just exceptionally creepy? Reading her emails messes with me. No way. I'm not looking back. I'm holding on to that. It's an educated decision. Thank you. I'm not going to be one of those people eternally tortured, wrestling with believing. I'm believing from this moment forward, regardless. I don't want to turn into those people on the shows that are endlessly tortured with the truth. I accept it. It's logical. My greatest torture is, what if I'm wrong and I'm the crazy one? Praying every day to lose this now. Number 3.
I love my mother, but she is dangerous to my family. I have a priority as a mother to prioritize my own children. And that's it.
The 4th one on the list is, if I don't speak up, am I complicit in all of this?
Yeah, I see the guilt. Like, this is something I want out, but obviously there's forces that have been keeping it in. And the forces that are keeping it in are the people that I love. So when I say, if I don't speak up, am I complicit in all of this? Well, why wouldn't I speak up? because I'd lose everyone I love, right? So, and also because what if I'm wrong? You can't put that genie back in the bottle. That is kind of ironic. But you cannot put that back in the bottle once you've said that.
The next one left Jeanette confused for a very long time.
That she truly needed me to be sick, and I just didn't understand. You look at your mother, and if she's happy that you're sick and she's wanting you to be sick, it's like it's a side eye. That's odd.
Number 6. Jeanette has a lot to say about number 6.
The FBI told me that I was deceptive on my polygraph under the section of, have you betrayed anyone that you love? And I said, I feel like I'm betraying my mother if I say something, but I'm betraying everyone else if I don't speak up. And I said, of course I sounded like I betrayed someone. The person that gave birth to me, and I'm going to say something that might potentially cause her death, couldn't connect that. That's why my first thoughts were, how far is the border to Mexico? I really literally was my thoughts were, let's get her to Mexico, before I even fully understood it. And I don't think we naturally, any of us, would ever want to betray our own mother. And so that, when I look at that, I feel like I'm betraying my mother, but I'm betraying everyone else if I don't speak up. What would you do if there was someone and you knew you were getting sick and you didn't at least raise the flag? Like, I feel guilty just even that Tommy's kids were at the funeral. Like, what happened if they got sick? I'm sitting there going, man, I just betrayed my cousin. Now, he should know some of this, right? But am I supposed to sound the alarm every time, right? So that I feel like I'm betraying people every single time that something happens, and that's not true. But right there, if I hadn't said something at that moment, I absolutely would have been betraying everyone, because if I knew the story and I knew that something happened strange with Roy, and then I saw Bruce throwing up, if I knew or had a thought in my head and was having nightmares for a year, and you choose to sit by and do nothing, I would feel complicit in the crime. In fact, I would be guilty, don't you think? I think I would. Would you feel guilty?
Yeah, I would.
She turned around and looked at me. Yeah, I would. You heard my answer there. I would, 1,000 times over. I'd feel guilty. It's something I've thought about a lot. I've addressed it before. Would I have the courage to speak up once? I hope. Again? Speak up again? Again? For those in the back, once more? Never getting any real traction. Would I have it in me to keep going, keep pushing for answers? I hope.
And so you look at the faces of these people that you love, and you know, okay, if I say something, I'm going to lose them all. But if I don't, I am as bad as she is. I am complicit in poisoning people.
From a certain moment in time, your choice was always, I either look completely crazy or these people are going to be exposed to her.
That's right. And so this one, I feel like I'm betraying my mother, but I'm betraying everyone else if I don't speak up. It's like that police officer when he said, you've got to choose who you are. Are you a good person? Are you a bad person? And I'm like, I don't really know what's going on. And he said, you do. And now it's time to make that choice. Now, by that time, I'd already said something, but the fact that I was waffling in my mind about the exhumations or anything, I'm constantly in that choice. Who are you choosing? You're going to be her, you're going to be them. I don't know if The fact that if one more person died, I believe I would have faced God for that. Seriously. If I knew what I knew and was looking at it, and someone else died, if I was a judge, I think I'd want to haul my butt in there and ask why I didn't say something. But that's just me.
So you're saying that the woman who gave you birth, potentially you could give her death, and you're talking about the death penalty.
Right. And then truly none of that's in my power. I know my family was like, oh, Jeanette's getting everybody exhumed. I didn't exhume anybody. I was as traumatized by that. I was having nightmares about, I'm like trying to talk to Mark Nosak. No. We don't need fathers coming out of graves. That wasn't my decision. My only choice I had to make was something's wrong or just stay silent. And then I needed to be ready to accept the ramifications of those choices. If I said nothing, the ramifications of those choices were, in my heart, I believed people were going to keep getting sick and dying. And I believed if I said something, the ramifications of that choice was I would lose everyone I loved and cared about. And I didn't like either one of those choices, but I decided to choose being alone rather than being complicit in someone's death. And I sure hoped I was wrong. And I was definitely willing to get down on my knees and beg for forgiveness if I was. And frankly, I would think that if you were dealing with good and healthy and normal people, that they would want to sit down and explain that to you too. And say, sweetie, I know that you might think I'm a killer and we're worried about you and we're going to do a little intervention with you. But no, didn't get any interventions.
The last one. It's the phrase she said to me during our first phone conversation. The awkward one where I didn't know if we were focusing on her father or her mother, and I couldn't shake it. It was the one sentence in the entire talk that really stood out to me.
I need to evacuate this from my soul. And the fact that I have evacuated this now, all of it but that one little part, is why I'm sitting here happy right now. Seriously, I can't even really truly, I mean, it's still in there, but I feel like I've passed it to you. It's the truth. I mean, you in LaBelle, like I'm saying goodbye. I'm finally remembering things like a normal person. I remember my sister and I remember my brother accusing me of only remembering the bad things, mostly my sister. And she said, it's not normal. You need to look back and you remember the good things and just stop focusing on bad things. Why are you focusing on bad things? But I wasn't focusing on bad things. Those bad things were focusing on me, because I'd go to sleep at night and I couldn't rest easy in my soul because things were in my mind and they wouldn't let me go. The time that those nightmares stopped is when I decided to take steps to say what I should to see if Bruce was okay. And can you imagine watching a man falling apart piece by piece every day as your mind starts to wake up and realize this man could possibly be being poisoned in front of you. And he's losing his heart. He's losing his leg. And in the back of your mind, you're going to sleep. You're trying to pretend you don't really believe it. And then the back of your mind screaming at you every night and nightmares. And you decide to continue to just, oh, that nightmare was about nothing. But it all stopped. The moment I took action, I didn't have nightmares. And I believe that's from God. Just me. I believe I needed to say something. And it didn't save his life, but it I didn't feel complicit anymore. Thank heavens. I don't think I could sleep. If I never said anything and he died, he would be on my mind every night. I mean, seriously? Mm-hmm. It's bad to watch somebody fall apart piece by piece. I could never look at their family again. Frankly, I don't think I could look at myself.
Now, I could have pulled 100 lines out of all these writings Jeanette has turned over. I chose these because they stuck with me. They spoke to me. After we got done recording, we sat around and visited about her life, and, well, we ate snacks. I'm truly thankful that I got to take that road trip to Missouri with Jeanette. That one-on-one time is priceless. I also realized during that trip how much I truly like her. It's really weird to learn so much about someone's life, nearly everything about someone's life, to start from a tragic story and theories and then build it out, piece by piece, getting to know the players and then placing them in these real-life settings. I also attended that high school reunion. I drank beer with her old friends, laughed a lot, and we all played the card game Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza. That was funny. I saw how much she was loved by her former classmates, and I realized how many secrets Jeanette has held close to her entire life. We hide it well. The Toll, Season 2, Poison, Control. Please rate and share. It all makes a difference.